Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. Today I'm going to do a comparison video with Keurig K Supreme. They make 3 K Supremes. We've got the original K Supreme, we've got the K Supreme Plus in the middle, we've got the brand new in 2021, the K Supreme Plus Smart Brewer. So this thing will talk to your Wi-Fi, tablet, or your phone. Okay, so the original K Supreme is running about $150. You can find it on Amazon sometimes for around $120, $150. This one's running about $190 to $150, the K Supreme Plus. And the K Supreme Plus Smart is running it right at $199. I have not seen this on sale yet since it's so new. Now the first thing you're going to notice is this was the start of the multi-brew technology. So here we have the original K Supreme. It's got the 5 needles, 1 in the middle, 1, 2, 3, 4 around the side. Those are all going to pierce the top of the K-Cup and inject hot water to brew your cup of coffee. So this was the first coffee maker to do it. Then they came out with a K Supreme Plus, and even this K Supreme Plus Smart Brewer has the exact same technology. I don't see any difference in the needle arrangement or anything to do with the needles. And kind of the way the mechanism all here, this all looks the same. This is a plastic handle, and this first one is just more of a plastic feel. This does have a metal handle, and there is stainless steel wrapping around it. And same with this one, a metal and kind of a newer design stainless steel wrapped around it. So one of the main things I liked about these K Supremes were these water reservoirs. They've got these handles on them, which makes them really easy to fill up in the sink. I really like this design. They carried it over to the Supreme Plus. It's a bigger reservoir. And this one also has the exact same reservoir. So these two have the exact same reservoir at 78 ounces. This one is a smaller reservoir at 66 ounces. So looking at the back, this was the original K Supreme. Now this water reservoir I got another detailed video, you can move this to the back. You take that little thing out and you can move this, and that way you can make this a pretty slim coffee maker. You can put the water reservoir in the back. These other two, the Supreme Plus, they went to a fixed reservoir, and same with this. This is a fixed reservoir now. There's no moving it. Okay, so let's move up to the control panel. We can see they've changed things quite a bit. Here's the first K Supreme. K Supreme Plus, they started to come out with a little display. It doesn't display much, just the strength and the temperature. And then here we have the Smart Brewer. It's got an OLED display, which displays a lot of information. Okay, so back to this one. This one does 6, 8, 10, 12. They added the 4 ounce on the Supreme Plus, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And over here, they kept the same 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 brew sizes. That's how many ounces you can brew. I really like adding that 4 ounce. That just opens up a lot of possibilities. So they also have a power button on this one. You can turn it on and off. Same here. This one, they did away with the power button. You got to press the K button for a long time to turn it off, or just press any button to wake it up when it's not powered up. So that's a little different there. Okay, back to this one. They all have over ice function. Now this over ice brew is a really nice function. Here it is, it's a different type of switch. And here they don't label it, they just kind of give it a picture. It's kind of an over ice picture. But that over ice will brew. I got detailed videos where it brews over ice. It actually changes the brewing temperature as it's brewing over ice. So it starts out kind of hot, but then it cools the water down going through the K-Cup. Okay, so back to the original one. This has just a strong brew. That's all it has. It's either strong or not strong. This one's got 3 settings now for strength, and it's got a little display. First you got to activate it. Then we can go 1 bar, 2 bars, or 3 bars for strength. Now over here, they've really upped their game. They've got 5 strengths. So I don't think I'm going to have to put a cup in to change the strength, I think. No pod detected. Yeah, so I got to put a, it's one of the drawbacks with this. You do have to put a pod into it. We're going to go over brew ID here in a second. But I want to do strengths. The brew ID is it takes a picture of the top of the K-Cup and it's going to tell you what it recommends to brew. But let's go over strength. So we've got balanced, rich, robust, strong, and intense. Now let's go over temperature. This one does not have any temperature settings. This one has 3 temperature settings. I can go 1 bar, 2 bars, and 3 bars. And in my detailed review of each one of these, I show you the temperature of each one of those bars. Now this one, 6 temperatures. And I like that they label them. Even though they're giving you a little bar, they're label them. So warm, warmer, hot, hotter, extra hot, and max hot. So they've really added a lot more temperature settings to this one. Okay, so let's go back to the original one. You cannot memorize any settings. The K Plus, they first came out with these memory buttons here. So if you like yours 2 bars and 3 bars for temperature, you can memorize that by pressing and holding that button. And then next time you want, and press whatever size you want, so 8 ounce. All I gotta do is press that number 1 and it'll remember the strength, the temperature, and the ounce, and just press the K button. I don't have to go through all those settings each time. So it gives you 3 memory buttons. And as you'd expect, on this one, they really upped their game. They're gonna give you 10 memory buttons. But what's nice about this is you can give them individual names using your smartphone, using your tablet, and using the Keurig app. You can label those, you can give them specific names. You can call them Jim, Bob, whatever you want to call them, and that's what will show up here on the display. And so we've got this little heart button. That's our memory buttons. And we can scroll through. There's my different favorites. So all 3 of these have high altitude brewing. I've got a video to show you how to put each one in high altitude brewing. So this one, the smart one, the brand new one, actually has a reminder when to change your water filter. They all accept the tall handle water filter, that carbon water filter you see right there. Some of the brewers come with the handle, some of them don't. It's $14 if it doesn't come with it, but they all accept that. This one will actually remind you to change that after 2 months. And it's going to remind you on the screen. So they all have an add water light and descale light. This is just 2 little lights. This will show you on the screen. It'll say add water and it'll say descale. And same with this. This screen will tell you to add water or it's time to descale. They've changed the way they descale these. You have to put these machines into a descale mode now. So when that descale light comes on, it doesn't necessarily mean it's dirty on the inside. After 250 brews, it's automatically going to light the descale light. And the only way to get that descale light to go out is you have to put the machine into descale mode. Check out my video on all 3 of these. I've got how to do it with vinegar and the Keurig descaling solution. How to go into the descale mode and get your descale light off. All 3 of these have auto off. I think after about 5 minutes, they all turn off. These things, all 3 of these are very fast and quiet. I was amazed at how fast and quiet they brew a cup of coffee. They've really changed their technology. Older Keurigs would have kind of a loud water pump and you'd hear a heating element kick on and it would be kind of a noisy process. Not with these. Very fast and very quiet. We're going to brew a cup of coffee with each one of them at the same time. Okay, so I'm going to talk briefly about this Brew ID. This coffee maker connects to the Wi-Fi. You've got to use your phone or your tablet with the app. Keurig has a new app. I don't know if it's new or not, but it's the first time I've ever used it. So your phone or your tablet is connected to your brewer, and you can control different functions of the brewer, like the ounces. I can change the temperature. You don't have to have this connected to Wi-Fi. The machine will work without Wi-Fi. You just won't get the Brew ID. So when I put a pretty common K-Cup in, I'm not sure which K-Cups work and which ones don't, but when I put it in, so I want to show you, this brewer has a little camera right up here. See that little camera? that is going to take a picture of the K-Cup. And then it's going to send it through the Wi-Fi. And then it's going to, they have established on their website somewhere what, you can't see it, but it must go talk to the Keurig website. And they say, well, what are the recommended brew settings for this K-Cup? So when I close this lid, you can see it actually takes a little picture. There's a light that comes on. Turn my light off. See that little light? The brew ID is sensing it, and it's going to tell me what that K-Cup is. Green Mountain Coffee Roasters. Recommended brew. It says 8 ounce, balanced, and warmer. There's the 3 that it recommends. Now, I don't know where they came up with these recommended settings, but it's Keurig. And if I go over here to the app tells me the same thing. It's a Green Mountain blend. There's the settings. I can change these if I want. And these are sliders now. I can go hotter. I can go like to a balanced. I can go to 8 ounces. I can even hit the K button on my smartphone. It's going to tell me to check. I do have a mug down there. This is called a remote brew. These other 2 do not have it. They are not connected to the Wi-Fi. This is the first Keurig that I know of that is connected to the Wi-Fi. And that's pretty much why they're calling it a smart brewer, I think. You can tell the app is telling me that I can even cancel the brew. Now the app is keeping track of what you brew. And there is an auto order feature that they're going to be able to auto order your K-Cups. So if you bought 24 of these Green Mountain K-Cups and you just brewed the 20th one, it will auto order another box of K-Cups for you if you want it. These other 2 do not have that capability. So this app, in my opinion, is very well designed, and it's got several different pages here. You've got shop, orders, inbox, settings. Okay, so it tells you your remote brew is complete. And it even tells you you've got a used pod in your machine. And if I try to reuse that pod, it will tell me that it's a used pod. Caution, brewing with a previously used pod can cause an overflow. So I can override it by clicking OK, but I'm not going to do that. So these other 2 brewers do not have the technology to sense a used pod, or they don't sense the pod at all. You can throw whatever pod you want in there. You're in complete control of the settings, and then you're going to press the K button. I can still do the settings my own here and press the K button here, or I can use the app like I showed you. So people have been asking me in my comments which one tastes better. So originally I did a review or a comparison with the K Supreme Plus and the K Supreme. I did notice the K Supreme Plus with its higher strength and higher temperature. Did taste a little bit better to me than just the bold strong setting on this one. Now this one's got so many different settings. I've been having a hard time doing a really good comparison with these 2, but I am noticing it does brew a little bit better. Now, I don't think the technology is different as far as the hot water coming in, other than you do have different water temperature settings, and you do have different lengths of time the water goes through it by adjusting the bold setting, the strength setting. So those do count. So am I able to get a little bit better cup of coffee out of this? Yes, but it takes some work. The main thing I like with this, I do like the brew ID. A lot of people, you look on the back of the box of a K-Cup, and it just tells you to brew the K-Cup. They really don't give you any direction. They don't even tell you how many ounces to run through it. And if you're new to Keurig, you may not even know how many ounces to run through a K-Cup, and you don't know about the strong or whatever. But with that brew ID, it's going to give you some recommended settings. I can change those, but people I think are going to like those recommended settings. Okay, so let's brew a coffee with all of them. Okay, let's put a coffee in. They all act about the same. They operate really nice when you put a K-Cup in. This one's got the brew ID. It identified it as a Folgers, and there's the recommended brew. So I'm going to brew an 8-ounce brew with all of these. So I got to select 8 ounces on these. I'm not going to do a strong brew. If I did, there's what the strong brew. I'm going to leave the temperature and the strength alone on this one. And I'm just going to do the recommended setting on this one. Okay, so I'm going to hit the K button on all of them to start the brew process. Again, all 3 of them are equally quiet and equally as fast. They're pretty much all brewing about the same time. $192, $192, $192. So they're all putting out about the same temperature. So you can see they all pretty much finished up about the same time. You can see they all kind of act the same. They do that same brew process. You get the same amount of water that comes out. And again, you don't get any loud heating element. And you can brew another cup right away. There's not a heating time that you have to worry about. Okay, so earlier I have done a taste test like I told you on these. I am able, this one does taste a little bit better than this one. And this one, I am able to get a little better taste than this one. So it's going to come down to price. Again, this is $200. I do think you get a lot more features with it. Like I said, this one's around $150. I've seen the cheapest, and you might be able to find this for around $120, maybe if it goes on sale. They still do make all 3 of them. You can buy all 3 of them still on the Keurig website. This one would take up a little less space if you move the reservoir around the back. But again, they don't take up very much space at all. People are asking me if I've got the K Supreme Plus, is it worth the upgrade? Not quite sure. You're basically just getting some more fancy features with this and being able to use your tablet. I've got a lot of videos on how to use the tablet. I'm just exploring more and more with that. There is a lot to learn with that. So at this point, the Supreme Plus is a very good coffee maker. I don't know that I would recommend upgrading right away. If I had this one, I probably would. You get a few more features that this one doesn't provide. I would definitely watch for this new one to go on sale. It's not even on Amazon. You can only buy this new one on the Keurig website right now. This one is available everywhere. Target, Walmart, Amazon, same with this one. So I will put a link in the show description notes on all these products. If you do click on the link, I am an Amazon affiliate. I do get a little bit of money from the clicks. The products don't cost you anymore, but it is a way of supporting my channel. I do buy all my own products with my own money. I'm not supported by anybody. Thanks everybody for your support. And again, I've got several videos on all 3 of these, how to descale them, how to install a water filter, how to change the water filter, how to do iced coffee in each one of them. I do several different types of K-Cups in them. They'll do hot chocolates, they'll do apple cider vinegar. These are very capable. All Keurigs are pretty capable, but these are actually pretty capable. And again, I just really like that 5 needle brew technology. I do think that it does a little bit better job of brewing. Thanks again, and if you could, please like and subscribe.